So, thank you very much and good morning. We're obviously very, very eager to do our presentations for you. We're absolutely delighted to be here. We've come a long way, and we very much appreciate the preparation that went into this meeting, getting this meeting organized. The planning has been absolutely meticulous, and we thank you for that. We know that you're all quite busy, and we appreciate the time you're taking to come out and study with us the FSMA final rules. Several organizations have been key in organizing this meeting, and generally we thank the organizers at the end. But I'd like to do that now because it's been such a fantastic effort to get you all here. So we have the Ministry of Health, Labor, and Welfare, the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry, and Fisheries, and of course, the Japan External Trade Organization. We thank you all. As you know, we're from the Food and Drug Administration, and FDA is a part of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. We are a public health agency. Our focus is consumer protection. For the food side of the house, FDA regulates all foods consumed in the United States with the exception of meat, poultry, and processed eggs. As you heard, our laws were quite old. Our first law was in 1906, and these initial laws addressed food adulteration, foods that were in what we call interstate commerce. 5 years ago, President Obama signed the Food Safety Modernization Act, or FSMA as we call it. And this indeed was the first significant updating of our food safety laws since 1938. The previous speaker mentioned that the law itself was supported broadly by industry and by consumer groups, and that certainly is very true. The intention of FSMA is to shift our attention to the source of production, back to those preventive controls, and back to supply chain management to make sure that foods are safely produced, handled, and that hazards are controlled throughout the supply chain. FSMA gives us very strong preventive controls authorities, and you'll hear about them later this morning. It also gives us very strong verification authorities. As you just heard, FDA has finalized 5 of the foundational regulations, and we're here to review them in detail with you today. We're very much interested in your questions. We got a number of advanced questions, and we're eager to address those questions. If you have additional questions, please don't be shy. We have come a long way. We want to make sure that you leave here with a clearer understanding of the FSMA rules. So with that, I'd like to introduce you to our team. And as I call your name, if you could please stand. We have Samir Assar, who is the director of our Division of Produce Safety. And he's with the Office of Food Safety at the Center for Food Safety and Applied Nutrition, or CIFSAN. Seema Hashime, who is Director, Office of Regional and Country Affairs, the Office of International Programs. Brian Pendleton, Senior Policy Advisor, Office of Policy, Office of the Commissioner. Jeffrey Reed, International Policy Analyst, International Affairs Staff, again at CIFSAN. Bruce Ross, Manager, International Programs, the Office of Regulatory Affairs. And Jenny Scott, who's Senior Advisor, Office of Food Safety, again at CIFSAN. I'd like to note that we have two colleagues from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the Foreign Agricultural Service, who are here with us today. When we leave, they'll still be here, and they can help you if there are questions about FSMA. They can direct you to the right place for getting answers. And you heard of some of the locations to get information just previously. So we have Jess Paulson, who's with FAS, and Suguru Sato. So thank you for joining us today, to our colleagues. So we won't go over the bios. They're in your program book. Again, we can't tell you how much we appreciate your presence here today. So again, want to encourage you to ask your questions. We're going to dive right into our program. I want to thank Mr. Ito for that very thorough presentations about the rules and how they intersect. These truly are the experts on the rules, and we count Mr. Ito as one of the experts. So I'm going to turn it right over to Jenny Scott, and she'll be discussing preventive controls. Thank you very much.